Welcome to the CrossFit Max podcast.
What is going on, beautiful people, and thank you for tuning in to another episode. I have been coaching CrossFit for over a decade now, which is crazy to think about. So in today's episode, Susie and I are just going to talk about the things that maybe I've changed my perspective on, some of the things that I've learned from coaching athletes over the last 10 years, and we're going to dive into all those fun things. So we hope that you enjoy. Make sure you give us a rating and a review, and let's get to it. Okay, my love, 3, 2, 1, here we go.
Our not visual podcast.
Not visual podcast. Visual for us, so visual. It's so aesthetic in here in our new cozy environment. I look good.
Yeah.
We have this wonderful setup, and we are really trying to get this visual going for the podcast. Finally, after like an hour and a half last night, I was trying to figure out how to hook up this or how to get the actual video element to the podcast, and finally figured out how to loop in the phone to the laptop so that it works with our studio. And now
to check the microphones.
Yeah, for some reason we're struggling with being able to get into our studio mode and be able so we have two microphones, and once I enter that studio mode with the wonderful camera and with this aesthetic of our new setup in the office, with our boom light here, with this casting that's making us look so shiny and
yeah, I feel like we don't really need the light right now.
No, we do not. But yeah, for some reason it won't let us connect to both microphones. It only lets us choose one.
If we have a visual podcast,
yeah,
would Botox be a work expense? Just wondering, asking for a friend. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. Because I mean, technically, yes, right?
Yeah, sure.
Just wondering.
Okay, cool. Did you have a banter topic, my love?
I have a trend or trash for you.
You have a trend or trash. Okay, so just an FYI, guys. We are a little bit pressed for time because this took like an extra 30 minutes to figure this out. And Susie
works out at 4 p.m. and it's not negotiable.
And that's in like 30 minutes. So let's get into today's podcast. What you got, my love?
Trend or trash? Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
Can't wait for people to see your face while you do that.
Why is it not? Is it? Well, once I have Botox, my face won't do anything. Anyways, trend or trash? Ooh. Running in the winter.
Oh, what? You know what I'm going to say to that. That's definitely a trend.
Elaborate. Tell us more.
Will I be doing it this winter? I don't know. I did it all last winter, which was pretty cool. Okay. Is it a trend or trash?
First, no, it is a trend or trash.
Yes. So trend or trash. And I said trend.
Because you love the cold.
No, I hate the cold. I am a summer baby. I was born in the wrong country. I say this all the time. I don't skate. I don't ski. I hate the winter. We've escaped to Australia the last 3 years in a row.
I know,
and that's been my favorite winters ever. And if you didn't know, Australia, it's summertime during winter here. So yeah, you can definitely say that I do not like the cold. But last year I set it as kind of a internal goal to keep going throughout the winter, and I ran once a week in the winter. I don't think I missed 1 or 2 from maybe like parties and stuff like that, and not going on a Sunday morning, being a little hungover. Because you went
every Sunday morning.
Yeah, I would do it every Sunday morning at 8:00 in the morning. I would run the 5K loop, and yeah, I think it was actually easier than I anticipated it was going to be.
Yeah.
Because once you set your mind and it's like, no, like Sunday morning, I'm waking up. I don't care if it's sunny outside. I don't care if it's a blizzard outside. I don't care if it's minus 30 outside. You just dress up for whatever is
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. You got to dress for the weather.
Yeah, you dress for the weather and you just get out there and go. Now, is it as glorious as running, during the fall or the later summer months?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
But you do feel glorious after, because the sense of accomplishment
Yeah. I mean, there are days that I ran when it was a blizzard outside. There were days that it was minus 35 outside and people are driving by us on a Sunday morning and being like, what the hell are these people doing?
Yeah, like, are they lost?
Yeah. I mean, your nostrils get all icically, I guess, form icicles. And yeah, your beard gets all, I mean, what little beard I have.
Yeah, my beard gets out of control.
Yeah. You know, it's not the most enjoyable, but if you dress for the occasion, it's actually not so bad. The first kilometer, it's a little bit cooler, but then after that, you pretty much warm up. There was maybe only 1 or 2 runs that I did last year that I was like, I needed a little bit more. And I don't think I ran with a jacket once last year. I ran with multiple layers, like a tank top. This is not the right way to do it, but a tank top,
equipment for winter running,
a t-shirt,
terrible,
and a sweater, and then obviously I wore shorts, sweatpants, like woolly socks, and my regular running shoes that I ran with all summer.
Yeah,
and then gloves and a hat.
So you are pro winter running.
Yeah. Yeah, you should do it. You know, it's not easy. Like I said, if you are of the mindset like, oh, should I or shouldn't I on the night before, gonna be miserable. But if you tell yourself like, hey, I'm gonna be running all winter, then it's much less miserable. Especially if you're doing it with people. There were some runs that I did solo last year, but there was many runs that I did with, you know, Eli, Lucy, Daphne. Daphne was getting ready for her half marathon and she ran. Yeah, there were some good runs that I did last year during that time. And Trend, do it. Do it. It's not as bad. It's not as bad as you think it might be.
And you get super bragging rights.
Yeah. You just have to like hop in the shower immediately after, because then you're like really warm, but then your sweat becomes very, very cold. So, but last year I would do the 5K loop, and then I would change out of those clothes and put different clothes on, workout gear, and then I would do the 9 a.m. group class and then go home and shower after that. And
you were stinky.
Yeah. Yeah, weird note. Do you just stink more when you run? Is that like a thing?
You do.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
I think I do too. It must be a thing. I feel like it's because you sweat more.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Yeah.
That's a question for another day. We have a really important discussion to have today.
Yeah, let's get into it.
It's about me.
It's about you. Tell me, my love. How long have you been coaching CrossFit for now? 2 years?
2 years.
Oh.
3 years.
And then you taught yoga for how many years? 4? 3?
4? 5? 2019?
Yeah. 2019 is when you got your yoga cert in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Wow. What do you find is easier? Or what do you feel like, maybe not easier, maybe they're both challenging in their own way, but what do you find different about coaching yoga to CrossFit? Besides the obvious one is like very different than the other.
Coaching yoga is an endless stream of coaching.
Oh, wow.
Because you plan a class and then typically you're guiding the entire class. Every move that someone makes is coming from your mouth.
Oh, I thought you were going to go like spiritually, like you getting in their mind and in their heart, and then you explore those. Just kidding.
That too, but like just from a logistical point of view, you have to plan every second of the class.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure, you hold poses and you allow space for people to breathe and stuff, but in general, from start to finish, it's on you.
Yep. Yeah, every second of what people do.
Literally every second of the whole class is on you. So more challenging from that point of view. I feel like time flies, though, when you're doing that. So I find that, not that it's boring coaching CrossFit, but every once in a while, you know, you teach a cardio class and you're like, oh my God, it's only been 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're still on the bike and you're like, fuck, how was your weekend, guys?
Yeah.
You know, there's a little bit more downtime.
Yeah.
It depending on the workout, because it can be very, very, very busy coaching a CrossFit class as well. I think CrossFit is more fun to coach in terms of it allows an opportunity to connect with different people. It allows you to be creative on No, yoga is very creative as well. It's very similar, honestly. It's just what you're actually teaching is different.
Yeah.
The big difference, though, is in CrossFit, I find like you get a lot of breaks as a coach. Like you have a moment to just like change your mind.
Yeah.
You know, write people's name on the board.
Yeah.
Come over to one person, chat with one person. If people are doing a strength piece, you know, you can connect with people and socialize a little bit as well. Whereas like in yoga, from start to finish, you have to be fully switched on and people are looking literally at you.
Yeah. Interesting. What have you learned the most about your 2 years of coaching CrossFit?
What do you mean I've learned?
What have you learned the most about, I don't know, like from, you know, coaching 4 or 5 years of yoga and then starting CrossFit? What do you feel like your biggest development as a CrossFit coach has been over the last 2 years?
I don't really know. I feel like that's such a deep question that I would have like loved for you to have like given me a heads up on.
We're just shooting the shit here, baby.
Tell me the biggest thing you've learned over the last 2 years of your life.
Some of the more things like top of mind that you feel like maybe you've learned over the last 2 years coming from yoga to, I mean, it could also be a combination of both of them.
Yoga served me a lot in terms of planning a class for CrossFit, like understanding time domains and class planning. And I think that cueing people's physical bodies, I was very comfortable doing that because that's what you're doing in yoga. Well, they're very similar, but they're different. And I feel like I like talking to people, and I feel like it's something I enjoy doing.
Do you feel like maybe your knowledge on movement is maybe gained a little bit more? Because in yoga, we're talking more like mobility stuff, people's flexibility, like how well they could maybe reach for their toes or things like that, like get into deeper parts of their body, versus like strength training. You're trying to, I mean, maybe I guess we are trying to fight to get people in different ranges of motion.
I think though that aspect of yoga versus CrossFit is almost identical, but it's just the actual words that are coming out of your mouth that are going to be different.
Yeah.
But getting people to activate the right muscles and using your vocabulary in order to get people to move in a safe and effective way, it's both yoga and CrossFit.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for elaborating.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's like a lot about body alignment in CrossFit or in yoga. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Making people understand, like, how do I get somebody to flatten their back when I say flatten your back doesn't work?
Yeah. They look like a, like a dog.
Like
pooping.
the number of times in CrossFit someone's deadlifting and you're like, I'll keep your back straight. And they think that their back is straight and they have the most rounded back ever. Yeah. Same thing in yoga. You're doing a forward fold and you're like, keep your back straight. It's the same idea. You have to teach people the mind muscle connection. You have to teach them bodily awareness. It's the same.
Yeah. It is interesting to know how many people need to work on that.
That's a whole can of worms to unpack, because I think that is a huge learning curve that people have, and something that benefits everyone when they start doing any sort of physical activity is like becoming a little bit mind muscle aware.
Yeah.
Aware of their body and space and how that's moving and what should feel good and whatever.
Do you get these aha moments when you're actually working out still? Like, oh, that's how I was supposed to do that. I guess maybe you're working on the butterfly pull-up right now, so maybe that's starting to
I'm
click.
in the very awkward phase of learning how to do butterfly pull-ups right now, and so I'm looking forward to when my body goes, oh, that makes sense. Like right now we're working on kipping pull-ups in the class, and I find like sometimes it's almost hard to coach people in a movement that's become muscle memory, because you're like, how do I pull back the layers and explain how to break down this movement that my brain just does now, which wasn't always that way. It's the same when you're learning a new movement. When you're teaching people how to do a barbell snatch for the first time, and you kind of have to be like, stop thinking so much and just do it, because people get in their own way trying to analyze every single movement, and it's 1 second of a movement, and in 1 second you don't have enough processing time to go, oh, elbows close, dip, under, shrug, whatever the frick. You just have to do it. So you do tons of repetition to get people going with the muscle memory.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm coming up on just over 10 years now of coaching CrossFit specifically, which is pretty cool. In the next year, I have to go and get my CrossFit level 3. I could renew my level 2, but probably just go get the level 3.
Level up, baby.
Yep, which is just a written exam. It's a really long written exam. So I'm going to have to start studying over the next couple months and getting ready for that.
You know everything you need to know. It's within you.
Sure. Yeah. But, yeah, I think maybe the thing that I didn't come from teaching yoga. I came from nothing, and I started CrossFit. I started doing boot camp stuff at the beginning, but then really my coaching career started with CrossFit.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking of earlier days, 10 years ago, 20-year-old Brandon versus 32-year-old Brandon.
He's an old man.
Yeah. I think it's actually been 11 years that I've been coaching. I think since I was 21-ish that I started coaching people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the biggest probably development of my coaching career has been teaching people movement. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's kind of you alluded to talking about, if I say flat back to someone, someone might go right into that position of that's so much better. Good job. But 95% of the time that doesn't happen. 95% of the time you have to figure out okay, pull your shoulders back, or you have to give them a tactile cue, or you have to give them a visual cue. Hey, your back looks like this. I want you to do this, right? Yeah. Or hey, bring your bum down a little bit. You gotta always improve your tools and in your language when you're talking to people. And I would definitely say I think the first 5 years of my coaching career was literally just teaching people. That was my main job. I was the onboarding coach at a gym where I took someone who has never done CrossFit.
Total
and I
beginner.
just taught them how to move properly. And at the beginning, it's funny, you're the teacher, but you're teaching and you're not a very good teacher. So you're trying and you're like, man, this person is stuck in this position and I don't know how to get them out.
Yeah. It's a great way to consolidate how to explain something is just by trial and error. Mm-hmm. You try something, you're like, well, that didn't work because now they look even worse than they did before.
Yeah. And you're like, I had this client right before with the exact same issue and I told them this and it worked perfectly. And then you're like, okay, I just saw this person do the same thing. I'm going to go and cue that person on the exact way, the exact same verbiage, tone, everything, and you give it to them and they actually get into a worse position. You're like, wait, what just happened? What went wrong? Yeah. And then you realize that, well, each person hears and learns in different ways. And
each person has a different connection to their body.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, I would say the first 5 years, that was pretty much the biggest development as a coach that I gained was teaching people how to move properly. Yeah, and I think the last 5 years has been more to speak better in a group level. Although I did do a lot of group coaching. Yeah. I think the really fun element of opening up the gym is that I did so many group classes here.
Oh, yeah.
I've taught so many hundreds of group classes at CrossFit Max at this point that over the last, I would say probably maybe even 4 years now, teaching people in a group setting has really gotten improved. Yeah. And being able to communicate a certain point to people while 10 people are just standing in front of you with their eyes on you and their ears on you. Right. Then it's how do I communicate this point that's going to get through to these 10 athletes?
And they're all different level athletes.
At all different levels. Yeah. And then how am I going to do an effective class plan or drills that gets them to all succeed at the same time? This way I avoid 4 people jumping up on the pull-up bar and looking like they're just swinging on the bar like a bunch of monkeys here,
Absolutely. I think something also that you've incorporated over the last 3 years is well, you've always worked one-on-one with clients, but also not just coaching clients, but creating the program.
Mm-hmm.
So not just showing up and effectively running a class and having a class plan, but thinking 12 weeks in advance about what you want people to focus on and how you're going to get them there.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
There's so much to that that you don't even give yourself credit for, but I feel like people don't realize the workouts don't write themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I've had some really nice compliments along the journey of people being like, man, I don't know how you get this creative. I don't know how you think about all these different workouts and stuff. And yeah, I would definitely, I completely forgot about that, but I would agree with you that maybe one of my biggest changes over the last few years has.
See how I just like answered that like deep, meaningful question for you?
Boom. I'm going to answer yours.
Did you? Yeah. You see how, I just brought so much value to the conversation. You just watched me flounder over here. Digging for anything to say. And I was like, yeah, and you were like, that's it?
I think honestly the biggest change that you've made in your coaching is your knowledge of CrossFit movements.
Right.
For sure, hinging and squatting and mobility stuff and all those things, but definitely your knowledge and to be able to read a program and to be able to understand like, okay, what is the direction of this workout? How should I create a class plan for it?
Right.
Those things have definitely been improved on your side of things.
Yeah. I'm just like a super part-time coach.
Yeah. Full-time wife, full-time mom,
full-time dental receptionist.
Yeah. And part-time coach, part-time gym owner,
full-time podcast host.
Yeah. But yeah, so some of the major things, we'll kind of shoot these quick here. I wanted to go over 5 major things that I've learned over the last 10 years of coaching people in no particular order. And I don't even know if I'm going to remember all 5 of them now. I'm trying to think.
Just start with one and they'll start flowing.
Yeah. Number one, I'll go over like the actual working out side of things. So number one thing that I've learned over the 10 years of coaching is that range of motion is crucial.
Absolutely.
Getting into low squats, getting into full overhead presses, being able to extend your arms fully on a pull-up bar. Range of motion is going to be the number one thing that's going to reduce risk of injury.
Yep.
And also keep people's body resilient, meaning not just strong muscles, but also strong joints. And there's many times over the 10 years that I've seen people kind of get away with partial ranges of motion. And it's only a matter of time before they do something and they're like, oh, my shoulder's bothering me, or oh, my hip or my knee is bothering me. Right? And there's been times where I'm like, man, like I've worked with this athlete, maybe 7 or 8 times on getting into a lower lunge position, but they're really adamant that they don't want to go all the way down, because they're trying to do faster or trying to go heavier, and they're just focusing on the intensity. And then, 8-9 months down the line, they're like, oh, my back is really hurting every time I do this, or, hey, my knee is really bothering me. And I'm like, well, kind of makes sense, right? From X, Y, and Z that we've been performing and how we've been moving here. So number one thing that I've realized is that, and personally for myself as an athlete as well, someone who's sprained their ankles many times playing basketball and, just had really poor mobility in my ankle, and coming from the bro sessions at the Globo gym, typically range of motion at the beginning, it was, especially you're talking 13 years ago when I started CrossFit, it was just like intensity, go, lift more weight faster, and something I wish I had learned early on is that range of motion is actually more important than the intensity that you can bring to the workout.
Yeah, I think it kind of probably leads into one of your next points, what I'm going to say, but what would you say to the athlete, or what are your thoughts about the athlete who they can squat 2 parallel with, like a good 200 pounds on their back.
Yeah.
But if they break parallel, they can't squat that weight. Mm-hmm. What do you say to that person?
Yeah, just go lower. Go lower in weight. Drop it to 185. If you can get your hips below your knee crease at 185 pounds. Would you say that's
more valuable?
Yeah, for sure. Much more valuable. You're going to create healthier joints. The thing is, when you load up more weight, anybody can load up a barbell and just rack the plates on each side and bend their knees a fraction, stand back up and be like, boom, 400 pounds. Like, well, hold on a second. That looks ridiculous. Let's get you to like actually bend your knees and squat down into the bottom position, with the understanding that we're generalizing this statement here. If someone had like knee surgery in the past or like major knee issues, then maybe they shouldn't be doing that. Maybe they should be sitting down to a bench and then standing back up. But that being said, for the general public, if it's more of number 2, that's what he's talking about, is ego, then you got to leave your ego at the door here. And ego doesn't just go for the training element. It's also this thing of like I want to be performing really well, but I also want the rest of the people next to me to perform really well here, right? It's not about having the best score in the gym. And we all know we have those friends or those buddies that we're, always teasing about and trying to get a better workout in. But that comes from a place of like, hey, I want you to do your very best. So then when I go, I want to like push my very best so that we can both be our best here. But really leaving ego at the door and just being like, hey, I want to come in here. I want to learn from the coaches. Like,
being open-minded.
Yeah, I want to be open-minded. When the coach says get low, I'm going to try my best to get lower. I think I've kind of discussed this with our newer coach, Alana, yesterday. Mm-hmm. She was coaching the 12 p.m. class, and she's like, man, everyone in this class is really good at squatting. And I kind of eyes gazed towards me. And I was like, yeah, guys, I wonder who's taught you guys how to squat so well.
Yeah, she said the same thing at my class at 5 p.m.
But she also mentioned that like everyone here is very coachable, and we've bred this culture that, hey, when the coach is telling you to get lower or telling you to get into this range of motion or telling you to peel weight off the bar, it's not because we're assholes. It's because we put your health as the most important thing of the day.
Yep.
And if you're going to come in here with an ego and be like, well, I've done this before, well, all right, do it again then. But
Good luck.
It's not gonna be great for you. Maybe now it'll be great.
6 months off CrossFit because you shatter your leg or something.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, you can squat to parallel at 200 pounds, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to really build stronger glutes and stronger adductors, and increase the range of motion in your ankle and in your hips, right? So
that you can be squatting forever.
Yeah.
Not just for right now while your ego likes to hit 200. Yeah. 100%.
And then like also I would even argue like, the amount of times I've had that conversation, not recently, but in the very like distant past, people would be like, man, like I'm really, really, really stuck at, let's say 200 pounds on the back squat. And then you see their back squat. It's like, yeah, well, maybe if you build strength by getting all the way down there, then you wouldn't be plateauing so much. So sure, you might have to peel some weight off right now to build the strength.
For 2 steps forward.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But moving forward, you're going to reduce your risk of injury. You're going to actually see bigger progress.
Absolutely.
Things like that. So
absolutely. So range of motion, ego at the door.
The third thing, kind of just alluding to that, was the progression. Earlier, Brandon saw the golden eggs, the golden ticket, whatever the heck you want to see, and saw the flashy things, and always wanted to kind of jump on the bandwagon for whatever cool program was out there. And one of the things that I've noticed throughout my 10 years is that if you want to see real progress, number one, you got to track, right? It's really important that you track these things. Even if at the beginning, again, talking about ego, your results aren't as good as maybe they once were, or maybe it's just you're like, I'm bottom of the list. I'm bottom of the daily stats at CrossFit Max. My weightlifting is lower than everyone. My score in the AMRAPs or the timed workouts are, not as fast or not as good as everyone. Well, that's okay, because we've left the ego at the door and we don't care about those things. The only thing we care about is ourselves.
Yeah.
So number one, you want to make sure you're actually keeping track of your progress. But number two is you need to follow a program that's going to help you get to wherever your goal is.
Absolutely.
If you're kind of bouncing around, you're like, I want to do this main program, then I'm also going to add this as like an accessory piece to that. And I'm also going to kind of join this club and do this on the side. Well, you have to be careful about those things, because not everything is like cohesive together.
Right.
And then it's going to potentially lead you down the wrong track, or potentially overdoing it, or just, plateauing at a certain pace here. You want to follow a progression that's going to lead you to overload over X amount of time, whether that's weeks, right? Across our max, we do 12 weeks, whether that's months, whether that's years, whatever the heck that is. You want to follow some sort of progression that's going to allow you to build over the time.
Heck yeah.
So that's number 3. Number 4. Do you know what number 4 is, my love? I know one of the things that maybe young Brandon, young Coach B, used to kind of think
Coach B Jr.
is that Coach B Jr. I like that.
Junior Coach B.
Yeah, Junior. Was that, when you're coaching someone, you only sees that person for the hour of that day. And sometimes you're in a class of 8 people, 12 people. I've coached classes that are 20, 25 people in it. And you only get a small touch point with that client. And you have to know that each athlete likes to be coached in their own way. So in CrossFit, you're very much coaching group settings.
Right.
But you have to or something that I understood after maybe a few years of doing this, is that each athlete likes to be coached a different way. Sometimes people like the go, 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 like you're in their face and they need that push from you. And other times people are like, get out of my face. Like, I'm going to stop my workout right now if you do that. Right.
For sure.
And that's just one point. There's other points where it's like, the cues that you give people, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes people really love tactile cues, or some people really love visual cues. Other people, it's the way that you speak to them, the tone that you talk to them, right? Something that I learned later on, and now I'm understanding it more and more, is that each person needs to be coached in a unique way, even if you're coaching a group setting, right? And you have to understand that not everyone is going to be the gas pedal. Not everyone's going to be go, go, go.
Right.
Many times you're also going to have to be their brake pedal. You're going to have to slow them down. You're going to have to tell them to peel weight off the bar.
Yeah. That's what makes a good coach.
Yeah.
Being able to read the room.
Yeah, read the room and just understand that
the needs.
That each person needs to be coached in their unique way.
Yeah, because the two common personality traits, let's say, of a beginner in CrossFit is the person who wants to just like keep adding weight and they're so hyped and and you have to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's take some weight off. Let's get the technique down. And then there's the other person who's overly cautious and nervous about adding weight, and they need to be kind of convinced in the other direction to be like, you know what? We've graduated from the empty bar, my friend.
Yeah.
Let's put some weight on.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. So there's that element. And I think the last one that I'm thinking about is the deeper element of health. Yes. And the deep element of health is that we're looking beyond just the physical element of coaching. And although you are coaching people, like I said, in a group training, and maybe you're having these one-on-one interactions throughout the group training, there is this element of like, hey, you only see people for an hour a day. If you're lucky, like if you're really lucky, you have clients that come 5 times a week. Like that's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to get someone to be training 5 days a week. of those 5 hours, that's 168 hours in a week. You get them for 5 hours if you're really lucky.
Right.
If you're kind of lucky, you're getting them for 3 to 4 hours. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's a lot of hours outside this gym that you have to try to influence them to make healthier decisions.
Right.
That doesn't just affect the physical element of health. There's so many more elements of health. There's the mental health that maybe we're more familiar with, feeling more positive emotions, feeling, the opposite of depression. We want people to be feeling happy. We don't want people to be feeling the sad emotions, especially right now of recording this podcast. It's almost Halloween. We're losing more and more daylight every single day up until December. It's
almost seasonal depression season.
Yeah. So up your vitamin D, folks. Up that vitamin D. And there's the mental health side of things. There's the emotional side. There's the social side. There's the environmental. There's the existential. So there's all these elements of health that go well beyond someone just lifting a 10-pound dumbbell.
Yeah.
And the more that you can influence people and understand that, hey, lifting a barbell doesn't just, get your front delts looking good here while you're pressing overhead. It actually affects all the other elements of your health. Going to the gym and having those social interactions will actually boost your mood and the endorphins that your body are producing when you start to exercise and get your heart rate up and you do really hard muscle contractions, and the energy that you feel outside the gym because you accomplish something really hard inside the gym. All these elements of health go well beyond, hey, go lift 5 pounds heavier on that barbell.
Absolutely.
And that's something that I would definitely say the precision nutrition certification really, really kind of hits home on.
Yeah. You feel like that was like the aha moment on seeing the athlete as not just a CrossFit being, but like a holistic approach to fitness and wellness. And also I see it a lot in how you coach people and how you ask questions about people's lives and you get to know people on a deeper level, because understanding that there's so much more that happens in people's lives than the 60 minutes they're physically doing CrossFit is the key to making sustainable lifelong change.
Yeah. Boom. There's so many others too.
Should we do a recap?
No.
Oh, okay.
We don't have time. You got to get to your workout.
It's true. I got to go be awkward and learn butterfly pull-ups because I'm leaving my ego at the door.
Hell yeah.
But also, I hope I beat Malice in the workout.
All right. Client of the week
pew, 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 pew.
Is a client that has been absolutely crushing it.
Imagine plot twist. They don't even go here.
They suck. No, I'm kidding. They're doing so freaking good. They've completed their first week of the transformation program.
Hell to the year.
They're down 5 pounds.
5 pounds in? How much time? In 2 weeks?
A week.
1 week.
Yeah, they did a bunch of training. They did a bunch of pickleball last week. They came to our neon workout, which, by the way, neon workout was epic.
Lit.
That client is a well-deserved client, and her name is Niky.
Aw, go Niky.
So shout out to Niky. She has been a wonderful addition the last couple months, I believe now.
Yes.
I think it's been about 2 or 3 months now that she's been here. I did her
free trial. What did I?
I don't remember, but she's been here. She's been crushing it. Yeah, I think we actually
she might have been the last person that I did the onboarding for.
Oh, yeah.
Look at me. This is actually thanks to me as a coach.
Yeah, hell
because, it was all about you being a coach, but really...
No, I think Niky has put in a solid amount of work. She's done really good. And what I love about her journey so far is how much she's trying to affect the other people in her world now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's trying to influence her husband,
get to see her often,
her
so that's
friends.
So cool to hear.
She has like 2 friends that she's really been trying to get started. She brought them to the neon workout.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so I feel like she's really
she's got the bug.
Yeah.
In the best way.
She's doing great. Yeah. So shout out to you, Niky. Way to go. Keep up the amazing work.
Way to go, Niky.
Guys, we'll hopefully get a freaking visual on this podcast.
Hopefully you'll see us next week, not just hear us.
Yeah. We'll try to figure it out. But in the meantime, we appreciate you so much. Make sure you give us a rating and a review. It helps get our podcast out to so many more people in the freaking world.
The podcast is popping off, eh, babe? Should we tell them? Where are we at? Like 25,000 downloads?
We're almost at 25,000 downloads.
What a fudge.
Coming up soon. But only thanks to you listeners. So make sure you give us a rating and review. If you also want to share it with someone, send it over to someone. Someone might be listening and thinking, wow, like my good friend Steven over there would really enjoy this podcast. Copy, paste, send, and hopefully Steven will start to do some CrossFit also.
I don't think we know anyone named Steven.
I'm not sure, but it was a random name. And with that, we'll say goodbye. See ya.
Bye.